first question. Okay. So please tell us about your background and how you joined SmythOS, and also your role at the SmythOS.
Yeah. So my name is Ingrid. Nice to meet you all, and thank you for having me. I am the head of product at SmythOS. I joined about 2 years ago, and what I work on is our studio platform as well as our newest SDK and open source software. So before SmythOS, I was at Google and TikTok working on natural language understanding and search.
Wow, Google and TikTok.
Yeah.
Then SmythOS.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I kind of got an introduction into like AI through NLU, and then I discovered SmythOS when I was chatting with a few startups in the agentic AI space, and SmythOS was very exciting, so I decided to join.
Okay. How you feel about the AI, right? Since you're working many years, right, for the AI.
Yeah.
How do you feel about it?
Yeah. I think AI is clearly a very powerful tool, but the hardest thing is driving adoption. There has been, like chat assistants, different natural language models for a very long time, but getting that into businesses and into real use case is the biggest challenge. So that's actually why I think SmythOS is a very important company, because it tries to bring the power of AI to all people, no matter like having very strong technical abilities or, if you're more business oriented.
Okay, so next question. Who is your ideal customer profile? Right? And which internal shareholders typically champion or challenge the evaluation?
Yeah, so our ideal customer profile is actually quite diverse. We mostly target like developers, so more engineering focused people, but a lot of our clients are also from a multitude of non-technical industries. So like I said, we have a studio product, which is our SaaS, and then we have an open source project. So the open source targets developers, while the SaaS targets more business people. And we usually work with like mid-sized middle market companies to develop certain things that are like, automation, agentic workflows, or chatbot, chat assistants. Those are our most common use cases right now.
Inside the SmythOS, is there like a real kind of business person using the SmythOS?
Yeah, we actually, there's a term in English called drinking your own Kool-Aid. It basically means to use the product that you build. So within our company, we actually use our own agents very frequently. For example, we use it to handle our support across the company. So support emails, we have a couple social media, as well as support channels in Discord. And so we have an agent that handles and routes support requests. We also have agents that actually help with internal operations. So in the product team, we have sprint management. So our agents actually look through our sprint tickets, help update our sprints, and it's very helpful in assisting me as the head of product on a day-to-day basis.
Okay. So what result can customer actually expect within the 90 days, first 90 days after they got adopted the SmythOS?
Yeah.
What kind of major change or like a major merit? Right?
Yeah. So that's an interesting question, because like I said, we get a very wide range of users. I would say within like the first 30 to 60 days, we try to develop the first POC for our users. If you have a simpler use case, let's say you're just trying to build like a chatbot or a support workflow, then those agents are usually delivered even faster because it's a very common use case. But if you want something more customized, and let's say you have more security concerns and need to integrate with different storage, database, or platforms, then the delivery will take a bit longer, closer to the 60-day mark for a POC. But what most people usually get from SmythOS within the 30 to 60 day mark is the demo, and then within 90 days we start to see the actual integration of agents into users' workflows. A lot of our clients that have agents service more like user-facing workflows, like let's say generating social media posts or a chatbot. That's when the chatbot actually starts to go live and starts to take load off of human handlers. For social media, we see a lot of improvement when we drive more top of funnel. So maybe the agents will create like social media posts or new blog articles and then generate a lot more business value and business opportunity because more people are directed to your websites.
Okay. Yeah. I'm seeing many examples in the marketing area in
Yeah.
SmythOS.
Yeah.
So what percentile of the kind of marketing workflows inside the SmythOS? I mean, how many users work on which kind of how many users are using the SmythOS as the marketing side?
Yeah, so it's funny because our founders, Alexander and Michael, you've probably met them, their previous company was in the SEO space. So when SmythOS started off, a lot of our initial clients were marketing, SEO. So the beginning was basically meant for marketing. Then SmythOS slowly evolved to handle more like advanced agentic capabilities. So now we're seeing more use cases related to, let's say, research or handling more complicated support processes or operations. So I would say marketing is maybe like the very early on customers of SmythOS, and now it's more shifting towards agentic workflows.
Okay, so then the versus RPA or iPaaS, right, or the LLM per platform. What SmythOS is the differentiations, right? Compared with the other things.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're asking like versus just automation by itself
RPA.
or platforms that handle so I think this is the typical question of like automation versus like truly intelligent workflows. So SmythOS actually shines at the intersection. Let's say you have a support person that handles different user issues, but then refers to those issues with internal company documentation or internal company information. This is actually like a task that can't be handled by RPA, for example, right? Because sometimes you need to make intelligent decisions, and that's where the LLM can say, hey, because this user is asking for this certain thing, we will design a new process to handle the support request. And this designing of a process or thinking through the question is something that RPA cannot handle. Another thing that SmythOS is good at is actually responding to live support queries or just live feedback in general. So if you have like, let's say an agentic workflow that consumes both like a user voice message and also, let's say, real-time news, then you can build an agent that actually can respond based off of real-time news to a person. So we've actually recently launched something called our voice assistant, where you can talk directly to your agents, and that's also something that traditional RPA doesn't do too well. Yeah.
Okay, so next questions.
And actually, there's something interesting with your last question, which is with truly autonomous agents, the design process is actually faster than RPA. You can imagine at a scale, RPA requires you to put in a lot of work to develop new automations, whereas an intelligent process can kind of handle more complexity, and you don't need to build out as much as you scale. And so it scales very easily with your business compared to traditional RPA.
Okay, so next question is in flagship business use cases, right? What outcomes and lessons have you seen?
Like in the clients?
So marketing is kind of a big picture, right?
Yeah.
But there's many type of the use cases inside SmythOS, and we are trying to looking for the use cases for financial people, right? So I don't think that there should be the common use case between any industries. So what kind of the use case have you seen a lot and also the effective? Right?
Yeah.
That's the question.
Yeah. So we have a lot of applications within like research as well as with handling of certain like types of automation with agentic add-ons. So we've recently been partnering with like a lot of legal or healthcare agencies, and they do a lot of things where you need to integrate an existing agent into like the live web and then into their own systems. So how this might look is like, let's take like a patient medical record. We're gonna process it with some code or process it with some internal models, and then we're going to send it to our systems, maybe our databases or some kind of sheet of patient information at a certain hospital. So that's a growing use case that we're seeing, is when people need basically just to replace like any very simple but high volume action that a normal support or service person or operations person would be doing with an agent. And so that's been a very large use case. Another very large use case is in the research field, because there's just growing amounts of information on like the web, right? So can our agents then make intelligent decisions about how to do research, maybe feed in some of our business understanding? So like, let's say your business is like finance, right? You have certain types of models that you run internally, or you have certain types of websites or business like information that you want to feed into like a RAG to form context around an agent. That's also something we've seen a lot, is taking a custom application for a custom industry and then building like a research or a knowledge generating agent off of that.
Okay, so when you do the customization of the SmythOS, you still have to use the SDK, or when we're using the SaaS service, your service, right? Still we can do the integrate with the other system. Is that possible too?
You mean
always people have to use the SDK, or like maybe they can use the SaaS for the connected with the existing service.
Yeah, so our existing SaaS comes with pre-built integrations. So I think we have like around 400 or so integrations. That is just straight out of the box. So if you use things like Gmail, if you use things like Slack, those integrations already exist. You can also add different types of like DBs to our like RAG. And we are building out more customizations that are readily available in the SaaS. If you want something that's a bit more like, let's say like local or secure, and it's like a platform that's not very common, then you will have to use like the SDK or like our runtime. Yeah.
By the way, today's viewer, sometimes the normal people, not the technology people.
Yeah.
Right. So maybe I think it's a good time to have your demo, right? Then people will see what kind of the things it can do in the SmythOS, right?
Definitely.
Okay. So maybe we're gonna have the demo first, and then maybe we're gonna ask you several questions regarding the demo, right?
Okay. Cool. So this is the canvas of our SmythOS app. This is basically our SaaS. What I'm showing right now is an example of an agent that helps with sales. So within our app, you can see, I mentioned earlier, we have many integrations that are available built into our platform, so you can connect and build out like an integration with your platform that you use. We also have a set of pre-built components that you can use in your workflows. These are basically like tools that can enable you to perform certain actions. So you can see you can have an LLM, you can generate images, you can classify certain things. And then there's even like MCP or computer use. There's many different types of tools that you can use. And then we have what we call our Agent Weaver. This is our assistant, like agent building assistant within the platform. You can talk to Weaver to basically help you make changes on your agent, create new agents, or even like understand how to design an agent, because agent design is actually very difficult. So I'll just show you guys like an example of this sales agent. What this agent does, and you can see, is this is our home, our agent card. And this agent card, you can immediately test it with chat, or you can test it with a variety of different other UI. So this is like a chat UI. You can chat with your agent, be like, I want to process user with email ingrid@smythos.com. Like this is not gonna run the entire thing, but as you can see, you can chat with your agent and see how it works. You can also use different types of UI. Like this is a form UI where it presents the data that you need as a very easy like filled form. Our chat is running right now, so you can see it's enriching my data. So it's very easy to kind of understand how to use an agent, as well as build an agent with our existing components, tools, and our AI assistant Weaver. So I'm going to stop this for now.
You can start from chat or flow.
Yes.
It's two kind of different ways of starting the whole process.
Exactly. And you can also build in multiple ways, like either by chatting with the Weaver or by directly editing each component here. So I won't go into the details, but let's just walk through what this agent, for example, does. Okay. So this agent basically takes some details about the user. Let's see, email, company name, domain. You can edit all of these inputs however you see fit. And then what it'll do is it'll take this information and it'll send it through a research pipeline. So you can see here, this is our web search component. It basically goes onto the internet, searches up certain things about the information that you just asked it to run, and then it passes all of that information into data enrichment. So it structures, it like combines, it creates an output that we can then use to score those leads in a code process. So let's say you wanted to build a research agent that looked at a couple of company stocks. You can then have the LLM process all of that research into fixed numbers, which you can then apply models onto. Like you can see here, our code component essentially takes a bunch of details about what we just researched and then actually goes and scores it with a function. So SmythOS is very powerful because we have a lot of these small building blocks that can create many types of interesting agents. So after the scoring here, we say, hey, there are some of these companies or some of these users that are very high leads, very high opportunity scores. So then we're going to send those users over to Slack so that our team can then, reach out to those users or create maybe even an email that automatically talks to the users we just researched. So, this is...
What kind of information you get in the web search piece?
Yeah.
Maybe third or fourth block.
Yeah. So in the web search piece, I can actually show you. So this is our inspector. It allows you to see, because we just ran like a workflow, right? It allows you to see everything that happened within the workflow you just ran. So let's just see maybe company research, right? I'm gonna company research. So I searched for company research. Now I can see, okay, in my web search component, we were researching about SmythOS, I guess. Yeah, I probably passed in some kind of information about SmythOS. So here, it's basically scraping content from our website, smythos.com, and then processing that into a JSON. This is basically a machine understandable output, so that you can then pass this data from a website into what we just said, our functions and our models. Yeah, exactly.
So you can use your customized code, right, inside the box.
Yes.
So
yes.
you can choose the kind of standard tools, right, from the list, right?
Yeah.
And also you can customize it by coding your program.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Any Python or any other language you can use? Python?
So right now we're mostly supporting. We have Node.js. And with our SDK, we also support Python.
Okay.
So that's basically the quick overview of what this agent does. It researches, pulls information, live information from the web, then it runs a model and functions over that information that is now translated into a machine understandable output, and then sends that output of the function of your model to a integration of your choice. So here we choose Slack. Maybe you want to send it to email or send it to other types of like chat. We have a bunch of integrations. I think WhatsApp, Twilio, Discord, a lot of things that you can use.
So how to kick the whole process? Any kind of trigger you have to have in the workflows? Like every time you have to type in your email, right? It's kind of lousy. So maybe you have to have some kind of trigger, like a webhook, right, to start the process.
Exactly.
Any how you can start this process?
So how our agents work is you can basically call any of our workflows with an API call. So each one of these endpoints is exposed. So let's say you want every time like you get an email to kick off process leads, like this what we call skill, then you can directly call this skill from the email action. We're actually building out more examples of this in our templates right now. So maybe by the time that your audience sees this, we'll actually have a set of easy templates for you to work on different triggers. But API endpoint, API call is one of the ways that you can kick off the process. You can also kick it off in some more structured ways. So we have a way to run an agent on a schedule. So it mimics almost humans, right? Like let's say every Monday, I want to reach out to all my clients, or I want to check all these websites for new news. Then you can actually schedule that every Monday. You can kick off this agent's processes and complete all of these tasks. We also have other built-in triggers, like you saw. The chat is a built-in trigger, which means it's a way for you to, within SmythOS, kick off your agent and test it out, as well as forms, like all of these here, you can use as triggers right now. So I mentioned voice earlier. You can start a voice chat, and then MCP is another way for agents to talk to each other. So it's a lot of very complex things, but in summary, you can choose to directly do like a webhook API call, or you can use a built-in SmythOS trigger like chat, forms, scheduling, and whatnot.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also about the deploy, you can use it in a customized GPT, right? as an engine of this workflow.
Exactly.
Can you show us how to do it or how to easily do it?
Yeah, so you see here, there's a custom GPT when you click deploy. So I think I already have a deployed version of this agent. Oh, no, I don't. So I have to deploy it first. Very simple. You just click deploy. And this creates a new version of your agent here that you can see is reflected on the changelog. So every time you actually edit your agent, you can deploy it to save a checkpoint. And let's say you make some changes that you want to revert to, or you want to have different versions of your agent available based off of what your needs are. You can use our deployment changelog to actually restore and revert back to new and old versions. But back to your question, on this deployment screen, you can see here, custom GPT. And what happens is all you have to do, this is actually very simple, is you go to ChatGPT. In ChatGPT, there will actually be like an interface where you can put in like a GPT URL. So you'll just copy this SmythOS agent URL and paste it into ChatGPT's UI interface. I wish I could show you, but unfortunately my ChatGPT, I need to sign in.
That's okay.
Yeah, so all you do is paste this in, and these steps are very simple. You can see there's only 5 things to do. And after that, you should be able to talk to your agent within ChatGPT.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
So since you are kind of a developer, right, engineers,
Yeah.
right, not the demo marketing person, right? So what kind of surprise for next several months from the engineer side, right? Any new functions or any new?
Yeah. So there's a lot of new functions. I don't think I can say them all, but I can definitely say that one thing we're looking to improve is our chat function, as well as what I mentioned earlier, the triggers. So we want to make our integrations more easy for all of our users to set up and understand. And so we're building out triggers right now and creating more templates around triggers so that users can easily set those up and create their own customized workflows. Around chat as well, we're looking to make new improvements to our chat interface and also build on Weaver chat experience. So Weaver can right now handle agent building capabilities, agent modifications. It can also give you suggestions about how to use SmythOS. Like, let's say I don't know, for example, how to set up this web search component. I can ask Weaver to help me with that. Be like, hey, can you add a new web search component that checks for top sources? And Weaver should be able to create something that creates something for you. So we're also looking to improve Weaver. Just what types of help it can give the user, how accurate it can, build your agent for you, what types of suggestions it can help you with. I think.
New things added.
Yeah, they just added a web search component down here, I think. Oh, this one, top 4 sources.
We really like the agent Weaver, right? That's why we are trying to use SmythOS. In agent Weaver, is that possible to read the whole workflows and create a document, right, about the workflows?
You mean a workflow?
It's kind of a reverse, right? You're typing what you want to do, right, in Weaver. Then create the workflows. Yeah. It's the kind of right direction. But
you want to know it can summarize.
Sometimes someone create really nice workflows, right? But it's difficult to read everything, right? So if it's possible, maybe if you can have the explainable, the papers, right? Explain the whole workflows, it would be really nice for the normal people.
Yeah. So Agent Weaver can actually do that right now. Yeah, so you can see I've asked it to summarize what this agent does. It's looking through all of my components and it's telling me what's happening, right? As we just discussed, this agent researches the web, kind of provides a model and function on that data, and then sends it to Slack. So it's telling you right now, okay, this sales pipeline assistant basically takes data, researches it, perform web searches, then it applies a ICP criteria and sophisticated scoring system, and then sends it to Slack.
Okay.
So yeah, it can explain your workflows.
If you copy it and paste it to the maybe description, right, of the workflow, then maybe it's going to be useful.
Yeah.
People don't. If you need to know someone's workflows, then maybe you can have the
agent explain to you. Yeah, Weaver can definitely help you understand existing agents. I think that's why it's so helpful, because if you didn't build the agent, you can still understand and edit that agent. There's also a lot of advanced use cases that I can share, but maybe that's better for another time. Yeah,
great. So, one last question maybe. How do you approach with the kind of integration with the existing system?
Yeah. So I think for us, we try to develop like a multiple ways for you to get started with SmythOS. The easiest way to get a quick win would just be to use our SaaS, develop with our existing integrations, and maybe even use one of our templates to get started. So we have a big template library. You can see many different types of templates like LinkedIn, Leads Builder, Vision, Azure, Midjourney. Yeah, there's a financial statement analyzer. So there's a lot of templates that we already have. If you see something in here that you think could be helpful to you, what you can do is you can click remix and then edit this template to essentially get you started very, very quickly. If you have a idea of an agent you already want to build, then you can also ask Weaver to basically create that agent for you. So those are the fastest ways that you can probably get started. Otherwise, if you need a very custom solution, that can probably come after you first start with the SaaS, use the resources that we provide, and then create your first agent. It helps you understand how to use a system like SmythOS, and it also helps with each of our templates, for example, I shared earlier, right, has a explanation for how to go and use it. So if I go back to the assistant we were talking about, this sales pipeline assistant, right? We actually have notes within each of our agents that are stepping you through how to customize and how it works and everything. So it's very easy to change it for your application. And then once you're comfortable with, very basic stuff like editing an agent, creating a new component, then you can move on to making your own agent with Weaver.
So you are people in SmythOS is creating this type of example
Yes.
every week or every month. Right?
Yeah, people in SmythOS.
It's going to be added to the template.
Yes. Yeah, and like I said, since we're developing new triggers, the triggers will also now, we're focusing on creating templates for triggers, and that'll help users who are interested in, using triggers get started with those.
Okay. Wow, great.
Yeah.
And maybe very last, how you can get into the SmythOS, right? Yeah, how to log in to the SmythOS.
Yeah, so you can visit our website, smythos.com. You probably can't see me type it in, but this is our website. So what you can do is you can try it for free. It's totally free version. Click here, just sign up. We also have, I'm already logged in, so yeah. You can sign up very easily, just put in an email, and then
you can just use Google login.
Yeah,
right?
Google login. Let me see if I can log out and show you. Yeah, we support a couple of simple sign-ins. So Yeah, you can see my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can use Google, GitHub, or you can just use like any email. Once you type in your email, it'll ask you for like a verification code. So this should be very, very simple. You just go to your email, you type in the code, and then you securely have, created an account in SmythOS. Afterwards, there's a lot of support and resources that you can look at to get started, like using our templates. We have a quick start, and we also have a very, very active community. So you can go into our community, ask questions, get the support that you need.
Okay. And also you have the GitHub, right?
Yes.
SDK.
Yeah, so if I go back to smythos.com, you can see the community docs, like all of this. And then if you want to go to our GitHub, right now, our GitHub is our runtime environment. So you can just click the link here, and it'll directly take you to our GitHub.
I think the SmythOS and also you will be quite famous in the Tokyo market. Right? Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Hopefully we can help a lot of people get started building AI agents and really like using AI in their workflows, because it is such like a transformative technology. So we want to make it easier for people to understand, to use. So like ChatGPT, right? It made it easy for people to actually use an AI agent for the first time. We're kind of trying to follow that example and build like a similar experience for maybe businesses where they can maybe start with something like a very simple chat interface, create an agent, and then go on from there to customize it for their use case.